Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, graduates. The program will begin in 8 minutes, so stay in your seats.
Good afternoon. It is a good afternoon, isn't it? My name is Tom Tenhove, and I'm the Associate Dean for Student Affairs in the College of Pharmacy. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the University of Illinois Chicago College of Pharmacy Spring Commencement Ceremony. Today's music is provided by the Brass Quartet under the direction of Michael Hogue. This commencement brings together members of the University of Illinois Chicago family, students, college administration, faculty, staff, relatives, alumni, and friends. Before we begin today's ceremony, to ensure that everyone enjoys this meaningful event, would you please take a moment now to turn off or mute any electronic devices that may detract from the ceremony. Thank you. At this time, I present to you the administration of the University of Illinois Chicago and of the College of Pharmacy. And now our distinguished faculty. Everyone, please rise as you are able and join us in the singing of our national anthem, led by Dr. Deborah Agard, Assistant Dean. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. The words can be viewed on the screen. Graduates, Dr. Graduates and guests, please be seated. In the spirit of building a better future and healing, I would like to take a few moments to acknowledge that the University of Illinois Chicago resides on the traditional territories of three fire peoples, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. This area was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for more than a dozen other native tribes. What's more, the state of Illinois is currently home to more than 75,000 tribal members, and the Chicagoland area is currently home to one of the largest and most diverse urban Native communities in the United States. We recognize that Indigenous peoples are the traditional stewards of the land that we now occupy, living here long before Chicago was a city and still thriving here today. As we work together on these territories and in the year ahead, we must remember our responsibility, especially as a land-grant and Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institution, Hispanic serving institution, and minority serving institution, to find ways to right the historic wrongs of colonization and state violence, and to build bridges with and support Indigenous communities' struggles for self-determination and sovereignty. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the Dean of the College of Pharmacy, Dr. Glenn Schumacher.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to all our guests here, family members, significant others, friends of the graduates. It's very important that you're here, and we appreciate deeply your presence. Before we get started, I just want to remind you this is a celebration. You can get loud, do whatever you want. We're going to have fun. I want to introduce the most important people that are here today, and that's the group in front of me. Could I have the PharmD, PhD, and Master's students please stand? Let's give them a round of applause. Woo. All right. Thank you. You can sit. You'll be standing and sitting a lot today, by the way. I got to crank this up a little. So I want to introduce the folks behind me, the platform party. First of all, we have some very distinguished university and campus administrators with us. If you could stand when I call your name. Nick Jones is Executive Vice President of the University of Illinois System. Joanna Groden, UIC's Vice Chancellor for Research. Javier Reyes, Interim Chancellor of the University of Illinois Chicago. Michelle Mariscalco, the UIC Assistant Chancellor for Health Sciences and Academic Affairs. And Lunaire Ford, Assistant Dean for the UIC Graduate College. Next, administrators from the College of Pharmacy, please stand as you're called. Kevin Wren, Vice Dean for our Rockford Regional Campus. Stephanie Crawford, Executive Associate Dean for Faculty Affairs and Strategic Initiative. Our most delightful faculty member. Joanna Burdett, Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Education. Andy Donnelly, Assistant Dean for Clinical Affairs and Executive Director of Pharmacy Services. Kristen Goliak, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Mary Moody, Associate Dean for Professional and Government Affairs. Claire Alway, Associate Dean for Diversity and Inclusion and Director of the Urban Health Program. And you already met Tom Tenhove, Associate Dean for Student Affairs. Did I leave anyone out? Am I good? Okay. Next, I'd like to introduce those who contributed the most to the education of the students that are here, and that is our distinguished faculty. I'm going to call the faculty by department, so if you could please stand. The faculty of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and their head, Nancy Freitag. The faculty of the Department of Pharmacy Practice and their head, Edith Nutescu. And finally, the faculty of the Department of Pharmacy Systems, Outcomes, and Policy and their head, Todd Lee. And last but not least, I would like to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Miriam Mobley-Smith. Miriam is the interim dean of the University of Hawaii at Hilo Daniel K. Inouye College of Pharmacy. And I'll be saying more about Miriam in a second. So now it's my honor to reintroduce UIC's interim chancellor, Dr. Javier Reyes. Javier Reyes leads Chicago's largest and only R1 public research university, R1 indicating the highest level of research activity. Dr. Reyes has been committed to expanding on UIC's inclusive campus culture and pioneering spirit, while realizing the university's vision to transform lives by eliminating disparities in economic opportunities, health, and education. Prior to his appointment as interim chancellor, Dr. Reyes became provost and vice chancellor for academic affairs at UIC in August 2021. And in this role, Dr. Reyes served as UIC's chief academic officer, advising on matters of academic policy, strategic direction, enrollment management, and academic resource planning. Most recently, Dr. Reyes has been appointed chancellor of the University of Massachusetts, Amherst, where he will soon take his strong commitment to the principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion in support of a brighter future for everyone across that university, community, and ultimately society. Dr. Reyes received his bachelor's degree in economics from Monterey Institute of Technology and Higher Education, and his doctorate in economics from Texas A&M University. So I now give you Dr. Reyes.
Thank you, Glenn, and thank you, everyone, and welcome to UIC, your university. And as Dean Schomach said, you're allowed to be loud, you're allowed to celebrate, you're allowed to sing, and I can see that there's a lot of good energy in the room that needs to be unbottled a little bit right now. So for those of you who are here to celebrate our graduates for 2023, please give us a thunderous round of applause, yell, scream, let's celebrate them. Okay, come on, come on. I want to feel the love. There we go. Thank you very much. So that level of energy needs to continue for the next 4.5 hours. So we're going to be fine. Now, thank you very much for helping us make our graduates feel special. And graduates, you'll play a role in a second about how we want to make everybody here feel special. But I want to say that first I want to start by congratulating our graduates. What you have done over the past few years here at UIC and just in general around the world when COVID hit, when the social justice, unrest, and movement that clearly aligns with our university took hold in not only our city, not only our nation, but worldwide, we knew that the situation and the environment which we were facing, that you were facing, was a challenging one. But nonetheless, you're here today. Nonetheless, you persevere. Nonetheless, you were able to complete all the certifications, all the coursework, all the examinations that you had to do to be here today. And for that, you should be very, very, very proud of yourselves. At the same time, let's not forget that there was somebody else on the other side of that screen. There was somebody else on that other side in front of the classroom at some points, somebody else grading those materials, somebody else taking the time to figure out overnight how to transform a classroom from a face-to-face environment to a hybrid environment or an online environment. And our faculty made sure that you continue your progress towards graduation, achieving the same level of excellence, meeting the same requirements under a different environment. So what the faculty had to go through to ensure that you get here today is also something that I think we should all be very proud of, and we should thank them for it. Finally, there is a group that actually starts with your classmates, but also includes a lot of people that are sitting in the audience today. There were nights, there were days in which you faltered. You felt that you needed a little bit of a push. You needed that little bit of a yell, a point, someone that was actually pinging you to make sure you were to continue the trajectory in which you were in and do the work that you needed to do at a time when you thought you couldn't do it anymore. Everybody sees those days, everybody sees those nights, but like you did that day, perhaps turning to your right, turning to your left, and finding one of your classmates that gave you the energy to continue, or taking up your phone, texting that someone that I know is here today to show their support for what you represent for them, that was on the other side of that phone call, that was on the other side of that FaceTime interaction, saying, you will be fine, keep going, you'll get this through, and you did. So I want you to help me, grads, to stand up. Please stand up. Turn around. Look at your classmates and look at the people in the audience and give them a thunderous applause for their support and for them being here today. You can do better than that, grads. Come on. There we go. Thank you very much. And like I said, no one does this alone. All of you here today, starting with the students, played a role in getting to this moment. And for that, I think we should all be very, 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 very grateful and very, very proud. Now, before I leave you, I do want to leave you with one important thought. People know this, that it wouldn't be me if saying something related to Star Wars, but I do want to say that I want to leave you with an important thought. There is a quote by a famous character. People think it's fictional. I'm not sure that he's fictional, but I may not agree with that. But he summarized the thoughts in one way that I live by every day when I wake up. And Yoda from Star Wars, may the Fourth be with you today, as it's an important day for all, said, do or do not. There is no try. As such, I urge you to do exactly that. When you wake up in the morning and you set out to do what you're going to do that day, just do it. Go for it. Don't overthink it. Don't just say, I'm going to try. Commit. Be disciplined about that commitment. You're there for a reason. You got that call, you got that job, you got the position, you got the experience. You got there for a reason. And it's because you've been doing, you were not just trying. Continue to live by that. We have no doubt that with the experience, the knowledge base that you take out of UIC with you, you can do and not just try. So please do, just don't try. I would say before I conclude and continue the ceremony, I want to share that in a way, as you heard in the introduction, this is also a little bit of my graduation from UIC. And I do take a lot of experience, a lot of the opportunities that UIC gave me to be here today with me to University of Massachusetts at Amherst. But I want to tell you, our grads, that I had that moment that you may have had or will have in the next few months or in the next few years, where you have to make a decision on what do you do next. Do you have what it takes to go to that next opportunity? Is it the right time? Is it the right moment to take that next step, to take that next chance? And the answer is, do or do not. There is no try. You are getting that call for a reason. And I can tell you that I am heartbroken to leave UIC because the special sauce that exists in this place with respect to social justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and the impact and scale and scope and excellence that this university had, that you are a representation of that, is not something that can be achieved easily. And it's something that I take with me, and I take the responsibility of representing us, UIC, in that next place where I'm at, with that same social justice focus and being very proud of the time that I spent here with all of you. But I am extremely, extremely proud for all of you taking these next steps. As UIC graduates, each of you will now pick up the mantle and the responsibility from graduates who have preceded you, and you pick up this mantle at one of the most defining moments in our history. Can you say ChatGPT? That is right now motives of laugh, motives, but it is an inflection point in our history. And you're taking that next step in your career at a point that it's called an inflection point. The last time we saw an inflection point like that was the invention of the iPhone. And before that, the invention of the internet. You're looking at something that will be very unique, and you take that responsibility with you. When you walk out these doors, please remember to return. We want to hear about your accomplishments. We want to get your guidance on where this inflection point is going and how we can do and take advantage of it to continue to give the excellent academic experience that we give to our students. Once again, I am deeply proud of all of you. I speak on behalf of our faculty when I say this. It's not just me. It's the whole UIC community. We're proud of you. You have my best wishes, our confidence, and we know you will go far. Some say, and this is where again I show a little bit of my personality, and I invite you to always do that whenever you get the opportunity. So, some say you may go to infinity and beyond. Some of you may remember that quote. Some say you will go to a galaxy far, far away. Again, may the fourth be with you today. Some say you will go where no person or man, was the original, but now it's no person has gone before. Some of you may say that you're going into the multiverse. But wherever you go, I know you will shine as flames shine. You will shine bright, and I know you will be lighting the way for those that come after you. Thank you very much for your time today. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Dr. Reyes, did you know today was National Star Wars Day? No. May 4th. May the 4th be with you. I thought he was going to say that. Thank you so much, Chancellor Reyes. It's now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Miriam Mobley-Smith. Dr. Mobley-Smith is someone that many of our faculty and graduates today know. She's been a frequent participant in student organization events. She's a constant advocate of this school and our mission. She's originally from Ecorse, Michigan, and Miriam received her bachelor's in pharmacy from the University of Michigan, and then came to her senses and came to UIC to get her PharmD degree. She was a member of our faculty for 13 years and held various administrative positions before moving to Chicago State University to become Dean of the Pharmacy program there. She's also served as Dean of Pharmacy at Northeastern University and currently at the University of Hawaii. As you can see from the program, she's received many awards from state and national professional organizations. She served and led numerous executive boards for healthcare and community organizations. And from this work, it's clear that Dr. Mobley-Smith is dedicated to giving back to the community and the profession of pharmacy. And in particular, her efforts have sought to help those in underrepresented and disadvantaged groups. It's the combination of professional success and commitment to using her talents to help others that makes Miriam such a great role model for our graduates today. And that's why I'm so excited to present to you Dr. Miriam Mobley-Smith.
Dean Schumacher, University and College Administration, faculty, staff, students, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2023. Aloha awinala, or good afternoon. My name is Miriam Mobley Smith, and I am indeed a proud graduate of UIC. It is my privilege and pleasure to be here with you today in celebration of this auspicious occasion. Congratulations on your graduation from the College of Pharmacy at the University of Illinois at Chicago. Now you'll see some of my personality come out, okay? Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, once stated, "Far and away, the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work that is worth doing." Booker T. Washington, an esteemed African American orator and author, once stated, "Success is to be measured not so much by the position one has reached, but the obstacles which one has overcome while trying to succeed." All of us can, in many ways, recognize and appreciate the wisdom of these words in our own quest for personal and professional success. UIC's PharmD, Master's, and PhD are flagship degree programs within one of the nation's and the world's most prestigious universities and colleges of pharmacy. You'll find no better value, opportunity, or preparation for success than at UIC. Upon your graduation, you will possess a foundation of knowledge and skills that enable you to be successful in whatever career direction you choose. In fact, your career options are virtually limitless. UIC graduates are highly sought after professionals, both nationally and internationally, who consistently and successfully secure meaningful employment and/or postgraduate opportunities. Indeed, you have chosen well, and your future is very, very bright. I've been blessed with over 40 years of a very rewarding practice, administrative, academic, and professional service career, which has been significantly influenced and impacted by the education and training I received at UIC. I have truly valued the ability and opportunities to create environments which support the highest level of success for all who learn, work, and strive there. As a strong believer in paying it forward, I consistently ask myself the following question: how can my career choices be shaped by the impact that I can make on the lives of others? I invite you to ask yourself that answer to that same question. Today, as we celebrate your graduation, I'm reminded of the advice that I've given graduates over the years as you engage in making purposeful decisions that will shape your future success. As this applies to you, be a good pharmacist. Do that by taking responsibility for your patients and their well-being. Be a good pharmaceutical scientist by instilling the highest degree of integrity in your work. Be inspired and dedicated to making a difference in the lives of our communities and society as a whole. Embed the philosophy of each one, reach one, teach one into your life. Realize that there is no success without successors. Remember to invest in the future of your college, university, and profession by financial support of and active participation in professional organizations, legislative advocacy initiatives, college alumni association activities, student mentorship and scholarships, and other professional causes. In other words, give of your time, your talents, and treasure. The impact that you can make in these areas can live on into perpetuity. Understand that your background and circumstances may have influenced who you have been and who you are now, but you are fully responsible for who you will become. When confronted by life's challenges, give yourself a permission to imagine a better way. When someone says you can't do something, give yourself a permission slip. Find the good and the lesson that is hidden in that bad time to create tomorrow's better times. Please don't turn off your bulb because others can't or won't appreciate your light. Will it be easy? No. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Consider applying this litmus test to your life. If your dreams don't scare you a bit, they're not big enough. Continue to invest in your future by embracing a philosophy of pursuing professional growth, engaging in lifelong learning, and practicing financial intelligence. Make sure to network with people who can help you grow personally and professionally. Make sure to develop effective strategies to integrate your personal and professional life. And lastly, be responsible for your joy. Believe in yourself and give the best to the world that you can give. Feel confident that the world will give its best to you in return. Congratulations on reaching this monumental milestone. However, your journey does not end here. You've been instilled with the ability to be leaders. You will have the opportunity to impact countless individuals, both directly and indirectly. In some cases, changing the direction or the outcome of someone's life. That fact is what has made my roles so very satisfying. An amazing scale of influence and impact. We look forward to all you are destined to accomplish. Take risks. Aim high. Dream big. Use your gifts wisely every day. Be an agent of change. Deliver exceptional care. Always keep an open mind and a compassionate heart. I wish you the best of health, wealth, success, and happiness in all your future endeavors, wherever your life's path may lead you. In closing, President Roosevelt also stated, "We are face to face with our destiny, and we must meet it with high and resolute courage." For us is the life of action, of strenuous performance of duty. Let us live in the harness, striving mightily. Let us rather run the risk of wearing out instead of rusting out. Mahalo. Thank you for the opportunity to share this time with you. Best wishes on your journey.
Thank you, Dr. Mobley Smith, for those inspiring words. It's now time to recognize the class valedictorians. These are the students with the highest GPA in the PharmD graduating class. And this year we have 8 graduates who achieved a perfect 4.0. That means they had all A's throughout the entire 4 years. I didn't even get 1 A in pharmacy school. So, valedictorians, please stand when I call your name so we can applaud you. Kevin Chen. Congratulations. Abigail Greenwood. Eunice Kim. Rosa Macrito. Bunsari Modira. Joseph Pera. Mura Sobuni. And Nicole Sidvoski. Nicole. Thank you. And just as we value and recognize academic excellence, we also believe that service and leadership are important, and we should recognize that equally as well. So PharmD and graduate students, if you served as a class officer or in a leadership role while a student in the college, or if you received an award for service or leadership from UIC or an external organization, please rise if you're able so that we can applaud you as well. Thank you. Thanks, you can be seated.
At this time, I would like to ask Chancellor Reyes and Dean Schumach to come forward for the conferral of degrees.
So like this? Chancellor Reyes? Something like this?
No, no, that's not today.
Chancellor Reyes, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Senate, I have the honor to present the following candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Philosophy, and Master of Science. Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Philosophy, and Master of Science candidates, please rise if you're able. That's all of you.
That's all of you. Upon these recommendations, and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Philosophy, and Masters of Science for which you have been presented, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of those degrees. May the force be with you. Please be seated.
A tradition we have to honor our graduates is the symbolic placing of the academic hood onto them to signify their success in completing their respective scholarly programs. We call this hooding. The names of the graduates will be read or played as they cross the stage. In the event of technical difficulty, Graduates, rest assured your names will be read by the faculty if the computer doesn't automatically read them. So we appreciate everybody's patience in that process. This afternoon, we will begin with the recognition of the Doctor of Philosophy and Master of Science degree graduates. Dr. Joanna Burdett, Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Education, will present these graduates. Dr. Burdett.
Good afternoon. The Doctor of Philosophy and Master of Science degrees are typically hooded by their major professors. A major professor is the faculty member who provides guidance in developing the student's research proposal, conducting the research, and preparing the dissertation. Graduates, please come forward when I read your name. And advisors, please come forward to hood. Our first graduates are Masters in Forensics, and they will all be hooded by Dr. Carl Larson. Megan Dempsey, Expansion of Photographic and Microscopical Resources for the Identification of Low Explosive Residues. Ashley Dominici, DNA Degradation, the Effect of Bluest Forensics on Recovered DNA in Various Storage Conditions. Avery Herrera, Analysis of Cosmetic, CBD, and Hemp Products for Labeling Accuracy using GCMS. Kristen Hawley, DNA Degradation, the Effects of Oil, Blue A on Various Storage Times and Temperatures. Hannah Kearney, Pharmaceuticals found in Chicago waterways originating from treated wastewater. Madison McBain, Three-Dimensional Imaging of Fingerprint Evidence. Samantha Meister, Characterization of Fentanyl and Fentanyl Analogs by Liquid Chromatography Triple Quadrupole Mass Spectrometry. Jasmine Roman, DNA Degradation, the Effect of Oil Red O on Recovered DNA. Olivia Vela, Reformulation of the Duquesne-Levine Color Test. Brianna Viramontes, DNA Degradation, the Effects of Hermesine on Recovered DNA in Various Storage Conditions. And now we'll have the Masters in Pharmaceutical Sciences. Zamia Siddiqui, Stapled Peptides as Novel Chemical Probes for the Treatment of Castration-Resistant Prostate Cancer, hooded by Terry Moore. Finally, the PhDs. Simone Creed, hooded by Andrew Riley, isolation and synthetic derivatization of indole alkaloids as probes for the kappa opioid receptor. Marianne Palczewski, getting 2 hoods today, hooded by Doug Thomas, a novel mechanism of epigenetic regulation by nitric oxide, inhibition of DNA demethylation in cancer. Hannah Cushman, also hooded by Douglas Thomas. Nitric oxide is an epitranscriptomic regulator of gene expression by inhibiting M6A mRNA demethylation. Lydia Davis, hooded by Dr. Jimmy Oriala. Natural products discovery from cultured cyanobacteria, guided by phenotypic and chemoinformatic analysis. Muriel Nauman, hooded by Jeremy Johnson. Xanthones from mangosteen promote androgen receptor degradation in prostate cancer. Maya Kuharich, hooded by Simon Picard. Patient self-perceived burden to others and caregivers' burden, assessing measurement to inform health and social care. Carter McCormick, hooded by Todd Lee. Quality of care and use, pharmacologic preventions for HIV in the United States. Nadia Nabulsi, hooded by Lisa Sharp. Pain and prescription opioid use among survivors of hematologic malignancies, a mixed methods approach. Please join me again in congratulating the masters and PhDs.
We will now proceed with the recognition of our Doctor of Pharmacy graduates. Dr. Deborah Agard, Assistant Dean, will present these graduates. Dr. Agard.
Hooding our Doctor of Pharmacy graduates today will be Dr. Brad Bartles, Dr. Haley Soni, and Dr. Vince Soriano. In addition, some of our graduates will be hooded by very special guest hooders. Dr. Bartles is the recipient of this year's Golden Apple Award, which is selected by the graduating class to recognize the single most outstanding teacher over their entire course of studies. That's 4 years. For those of you who don't know, a preceptor is a professional who serves as both a role model and a mentor to students during the experiential components of the curriculum. Dr. Soni is the recipient of the internal, meaning member of our full-time faculty, Preceptor of the Year Award, and Dr. Soriano is the recipient of the external, meaning adjunct volunteer preceptor external to UIC and UI Health, Preceptor of the Year Award. Nominations for these awards come from the graduating class. The Preceptor Selection Committee, made up of students, faculty, and staff members, review the nomination and select the recipients. We are pleased to present the graduating class of 2023. Graduates, please come forward when your name is called. We will begin with the graduates from our Rockford campus.
Benjamin Nigel Allen. Mejgan Aslami. Michael Mondo. Sylvia Joseph Ellicat. Milivet Feliciano Rivera. Kisito Nong Foyne. Evan Michael Fenton. Kurt R. Gilmeister. Catherine M. Hayes. Courtney L. Hooten. Pei Ting Huang. John Kamisiak. Nicholas James Lombardo.
Jomar Alexis Medina Ortiz. Bansari Madera. Joseph Allen Moore. Reno P. Murphy. Sarah Ann Nichols. Alexandria Nunez. Radhika M. Patel. Shivani D. Patel. Liesel Katarina Peterson. Laith Qasim. Brady Allen Rabb. Axel Rios Natal. Alexandra Chloe Sue. Ryan Troon.
We would like to now present the Doctor of Pharmacy graduates from our Chicago campus.
Joseph Gregory Albarin. Medea Fatima Ali. Alfredo Alvarez. O'Day Azmi Sharari Alzreke. Mariah Anbar. Abele Teresa Aranono.
Ebele is being hooded by her husband, Dr. John, graduate of 2020.
Summer Ashrafi.
Is being hooded by her sister, Sarah, a 1998 graduate.
Giovanni F. Baca. Isabella Mia Baker.
Hooded by her husband, Dr. Josiah Baker, class of 2021.
Timothy I. Benitez. Magdalene H. Brayback. Alishka Ann Braun. Jessica Danielle Brenner. Jessica Alexandra Benitez Burt. Emir Charkovich. Minyoung Chang. Kevin Kanak Chang. Alexis Nicole Coffey. Jessica Simone Coffey. Lindsay Cohen. Madison Collins. Monica Lisette Cruz. Margaret Louise Dangerfield. Faisal A. Darbar.
Hooded by his father, Dr. Dawood Darbar, College of Medicine faculty member.
Emilio de la Rosa Gonzalez. Madeline M. DiVittorio. Daniel N. Doe. Elise Duffy. Lori Alezian. Erica Ariana Espino. John Fitzpatrick. Jocelyn Flores. Olive Mirielle Foyet Piplier Nubus. Aiden Abera Gabre. Emmy E. George. Ariel Gonzalez. Abigail C. Greenwood. Arthur F. Hadas. Bassem K. Hamdan. Matthew Daniel Hart. Hannah L. Henderson. Allison Hippis. David Russell Hodge, Jr. Aneta Hoja. Adina Huidor.
Abdallah Hussein.
LaDonna Nguyen. Elizabeth Owole Ilo. Syra Jatoy. Mohammed Jafar. Benjamin Reeve Jones. Sylvia J. Carpio. Hamna K. Khan. Nimra S. Khan. Eunice Haeson Kim. Noah Y. Kim.
Hooded by his mother, Julia Kim, a 1990 graduate.
Jenny Kim. Matthew Peter Kirchhoff. Jessica A. Clear. Cyprian W. Chorus. Jeffen K. Koshi. Kaylee Marie Kirklis. Dominica Kulka. Hachi Lee. Matthew R. Long.
Rosa Macredo. Sarah Magazin. Aisha Zeb Malik. Justina I. Mastelers.
Hooded by her sister, Magdalena Masterler's class of 2020.
Alyssa Matea. Amanda C. McCrone. Richard L. McKenna.
Hooded by father, Richard McKenna, class of 1992.
Caroline Nora McNicholas. Daniel Mitri. David Monzin. Saif Shahir Shuk Nasser. Salimata Deer. Aaliyah M. Neal. Jared Christopher Nettleton. Elbron Sargon Odisho. Matthew Stewart Odishu.
Adjoa Oduro.
Marianne B. Palchevsky.
Notice we've seen her before. PharmD, PhD.
Edward Thomas Pappert. Jayesh J. Patel. Joseph Y. Para. Eileen Nguyen Pham. Christine Mai Huang Pham. Joshua S. Posner. Gayane Sabine Pulia. Mark Charles Pulver. Shivam P. Rawat. Brandon Timothy Reef. Anna Lisa Fulgencio Russell. Mara Sabuni. Hani R. Saeed. Amin Salam. Jihan Hashim Salama. Christian C. San Andres. Sir. Valerie S. Shaw.
Hooded by Aunt Monsi Shaw, former faculty member, UIC College of Pharmacy.
Zachary N. Showman. Mariana L. Silva. Brittany Snell.
David Sowumimo.
Boris Starr. Nicole A. Shidwowski. Jennifer Takamura.
Hooded by Sister Dr. Regina Takamura, faculty, UIC College of Pharmacy.
Tara Banu Tanraberdi. Neetu M. Thomas. Seva Tihomirov. Emily A. Tran. Mary Tran. Michelle N. Toulay. William Van. Danielle G. Vargas. Mega Burma. Marisol Wences. Brett Lynn White. Venura Withanawasam. Luke Witkowski. Elliot Wolf. Michael Wong. Dustin Wu. Anna Wu. William Yee. Jeffrey Kensho Yoshihara. Parva B. Zavery. Anne Zen. Julie Ann Yu Zhu.
Congratulations, graduates. I'd now like to call upon Dr. Francis Schlemmer, who is a Golden graduate. Yeah. He's going to administer the oath of a pharmacist to our graduating professional students. Dr. Schlemmer.
Congratulations, graduates. Now I would like everyone to stand, right? Of the pharmacist, and I will administer the oath of a pharmacist. Okay, so please repeat after me. Okay. I promise to devote myself, can't hear, so, to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will promote inclusion, embrace diversity, and advocate for justice to advance health equity. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for all patients. I will respect and protect all personal health information entrusted to me. I will accept the responsibility to improve my professional knowledge, expertise, and self-awareness. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily and with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. Okay, congratulations, graduates.
You may be seated. Thank you, Dr. Schlemmer. At this time, I'd like to call upon Dean Schumach to give his closing remarks to the graduates. Dr. Schumach.
Thank you, Tom. Graduates, before he sits down, I just wanted to ask you to help me in thanking Dr. Fran Schlemmer, not just for leading the oath of the pharmacist, but also for all of his years teaching our students. Like you, he's an alum of this College of Pharmacy. He graduated 50 years ago. That makes him a golden graduate. Dr. Schlemmer taught many of you and many students that preceded you, and he's retiring for the second time. And we just want to give him our deep appreciation for all of his years of service to the university. I just like to go back and forth between podiums. All right. Now it's time to party. Woo! Do we have one more round of applause for all these great graduates? All right. Okay, so we're doing pretty good on time. I just have a few closing remarks. I know you all have a joyous celebration planned for later. So let me again thank our keynote speaker, Dr. Miriam Mobley-Smith. Miriam's a perfect example of how UIC College of Pharmacy graduates not only lead the profession, but give back to communities in so many different ways. So thank you, Dr. Mobley-Smith. Graduates, you are now alumni of the UIC College of Pharmacy. Yeah. Don't worry, we won't be asking you for money right away. You should be very proud, though. This is one of the very best schools of pharmacy in the world, and you join a network of nearly 10,000 other distinguished UIC pharmacy alumni. Alumni like Miriam Mobley-Smith, Fran Schlemmer, many of the folks on the stage behind me, they're all your colleagues now. They are ready to help you succeed, and they and all of our faculty look forward to seeing you carry on the reputation of UIC. And we expect that you will eventually assume our positions and the mantle of leadership of the profession of pharmacy. And that may seem daunting, but I know you're ready to do this. It's been a long 4 or more years in some cases, but you excelled in a very difficult program during a global pandemic. If you hadn't heard, you gained experience that would have taken a lifetime. And more importantly, I think during the pandemic, you witnessed a public reawakening of the importance of pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences. I mean, what other profession was so involved in giving vaccines, developing the vaccines, testing patients? The pharmacy became the hub for patients and everyone in the community during the pandemic. And that's great because it increases the expectations for you as a pharmacist as you graduate or a pharmaceutical scientist. It also expands the opportunities that you have available in front of you. And as Provost Chancellor Reyes said earlier about this moment being sort of the very best moment in history to graduate, I wholeheartedly agree. I can think of no better time as a pharmacist to be graduating than now, where the expectations and opportunities are so high. And I know that you will make a huge impact, and all of you will be very successful. I'd just like to say a little bit about the graduates for the family and loved ones in the audience. First of all, I'll start with the master's and PhD graduates. If you could stand, if you're able. So, guests, thank you. I think as you heard from their master's and PhD thesis titles, many of which I had no idea what they were talking about, very impressive scientific work going on. These new master's and PhD graduates are the future inventors of new drugs. They'll identify new treatments from plants and create drugs in the lab that will save lives. And others will invent new ways for you to take your medication, new dosage forms and routes of administration to make drugs safer and more effective. Others will be involved in testing and forensics, and still others will help you understand the rising cost of prescription drugs, the benefits and the side effects of those drugs. And so I'd like to congratulate one more time all of our master's and PhD graduates. You can sit. If I can have the PharmD graduates stand, I promise this is the last time. Guests, before you are the new medication experts of the world. That's not an exaggeration. They've been taught by faculty who are conducting cutting-edge research and developing new advanced ways to practice pharmacy. These graduates have seen the future at UIC and are now ready to go out and live it. And these graduates are the future leaders of the profession of pharmacy, not just in Illinois, but worldwide. They will be leaders in advancing innovative pharmacy practices, leaders in caring for patients and safeguarding the public from medication misadventures. They will be leaders in community pharmacy, in hospital pharmacy, managed care, pharmaceutical industry, and every setting where medications are produced, distributed, managed, or used. PharmD graduates, by the virtue of having graduated from UIC, you'll be held to higher standards by your patients, your peers, your employers, and for sure the faculty on the stage behind me. I know that you will not only meet, but far exceed those expectations. Congratulations to all of our new PharmD graduates. Okay, you can sit. So my very last remarks, just to all of the graduates here, I ask you to please stay connected. If we learned anything from the pandemic, it was how important it is to stay connected. Stay connected to your roots, to your family and loved ones, stay connected to UIC, and definitely stay connected to the College of Pharmacy. Finally, like our keynote speaker, all of our 10,000 alumni, all of our faculty, you are UIC. Congratulations.
Thank you for sharing this great event in the lives of our graduates this afternoon. I think it would be appropriate for one more round of applause for the graduates. I would also quickly like to take the time to thank those who made today possible for you, the Office of Student Affairs staff, the forum staff, and others. How about a round of applause for all of them? In closing, I would like to ask that the audience and graduates please remain seated until the platform party and faculty have recessed. This commencement ceremony is now adjourned. Good day.